All right. With that being said, the floor is yours, MC Kidflow.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully everyone is feeling great. Again, this is the 29th annual Southern Fried Regional Poetry Slam, the virtual edition. At SoFried, we believe Black Lives Matter. We support and believe in the rights of our LGBTQ community, and we believe every person should have equal access to living their best lives physically, spiritually, and artistically. We encourage you to be respectful of everyone's identity and remember that every person on this stage has equal value. At Southern Fried, we judge poems, not people. All right, now I know that's right. Anyway, tonight you will see 3 or 4, I believe it's about 4 teams we have. Yes, we have all 4 teams here tonight of poets, and I believe we have 2 independent poets for you tonight from the Southeast region and beyond. I believe we do have a team from Ghana one time, competing for a chance to get onto the final stage this Saturday afternoon for the Indies. Saturday night is for the teams. If you are present in the Zoom bout, please make sure to mute your mics and turn your cameras off when you are not performing. Judges, we ask that your cameras remain on during the poems. This bout is attended by poets who are logging in from around the world, so please give their poetry our love and undivided attention. In a poetry slam, there is no music. There are no costumes or props, and each poet will be able to perform original work. Poems may be up to 3 minutes long, but after a 10-second grace period, the performers lose points for going over time. You may see groups of poets performing team pieces. This is normal and encouraged. We have pre-selected judges this year, and they are, go ahead and introduce these lovely judges to you. We have George Mendez. We also have Mama Tia, Anthony Mitchell, Joseph B., and Maria Garza. We appreciate you all for being here for us. We really, really do need your assistance. They are not affiliated with any of the poets performing tonight, but we are excited to find out what they think. These judges are our poetry experts tonight, but feel free to use the chat to let the judges know whether you agree with them or not. You can also use the reaction buttons to show support for the poem. If you are joining us via live stream, leave us comments. Use the emojis, feel free to interact with us and social media and share with your friends. Judges, don't let the audience sway you. Tonight, you are the experts. If you like the poetry you hear tonight, we will post their contact information so that you can purchase their merchandise. Southern Fried merchandise is available on our website, and tickets to final stage can be purchased through Eventbrite. We would love to have you join us as these poets battle for the 2021 championship. But before the slam can get going, we need to have a calibration poem. This poet is not part of the competition, but will be judged just the same. Judges, you may use your poems to score as your baseline of reference for the poems you would judge the bout. Please welcome this bout's sacrificial poet to the mic, and get this name right. I have Adjoa Lafleur. Adjoa Lafleur?
Yes.
All right. All right, it's your time. We can hear you just fine.
I was told that I should talk about cishet Black men more poetic so that the message goes through. But the way that too many Black men treat Black women and femmes is not poetic. Why must I make art from abuse? And even if I use my lips to recite the words that painted the perfect picture, too many Black men will ignore the beauty because they don't give a fuck about the message. How do you expect me to Pablo Picasso the blood and tears of Black women and non-men? The people most likely to be raped or sexually assaulted, the people with the highest occurrences of domestic violence, the people likely to be disposed of and ignored. How do you expect me to paint pointillism pictures of our mistreatment? Are you expecting me to use the blood found on the trails of bodies of Black trans women that y'all left behind? Do I have to erase the they, them off the tongues of the people you purposely misgender? Should I stroke a canvas to read it's just a preference from bleach residue mixed with peeling skin? Do I need to dip my paintbrush into the souls of all the little Black femmes that survived R. Kelly, and brothers and cousins and uncles? Are you expecting me to utilize of the Black lives that don't matter and that you don't acknowledge to write out not all men? Do you expect me to give a fuck if you feel attacked by the truth? Why shit always gotta be poetic for y'all to get it? Why the fuck I gotta write stop killing us in cursive for those words to matter? Why the fuck ain't our story, our tears, our bodies, our lives not enough? I ain't making shit poetic because ain't none of that shit beautiful. Thank you.
All right, all right. Y'all show some love for the poem and the poet. And we're gonna wait while the judges come up with their scores. From 1 to 10 in the chat. All right. From lowest to highest, we have an 8.2, excuse me. We have an 8, an 8.2, an 8.7, 8.7, 8.8. Right now. All right. Now, while we're waiting on that total, we got some.
The score for the Sacrificial poet is 25.6.
All right. Clap it up for the poet. Show some love in the chat. Show them your love. 25.6 for Ajua Lafleur. Well, before we get started on the next round, or on the actual round, I do need to give out some plugs. And, you know, just throughout the night, you'll hear me plugging these. And if you hear me say it more than once, that means that it's very important. So please pay attention. Here we go. Here we go. We have digital swag bags. And we also have t-shirts available for sale for $25. And also be sure to check out our Echo Park. There we will have virtual ciphers and just hangout areas. It's pretty cool. Make sure you check that out. You'll have to download the software and create your avatar. That information can be located on SouthernFriedPoetrySlam.com. Also, while you're there, try to become a member. It's only $20. There you have all access to everything Southern Fried and be on the up and up for next year's competition. So we're going to get into the first round of the evening. Everybody's feeling all right, feeling right? Okay, all right, let's shake it off and let's get there. So show some love in the chat in the emojis for our first team of this bout, which is Black on Black Rhyme. Black on Black Rhyme, who are you sending up?
Nick.
All right. I think they say they're sending up Nick. All right. Welcome, Nick.
Hello.
All right, poet. Is your camera on? Go ahead.
Why is it my responsibility to make you a better white person? It is not the job of the oppressed to teach their oppressors how to stop oppressing them, to stop arresting them, swallowing them whole and digesting them and breaking them down with their asses and convincing the masses that the person doing the eating and the person being eaten are somehow equal. They don't even believe that we're somehow people, and it's been that way since way back in the day. They lied and said racism died with desegregation. In reality, it's been passed down from generation to generation like a hand-me-down. They convinced us that receiving welfare is only considered a handout if the hand is brown, and you can kill a man in cold blood and still claim self-defense as long as the man is brown, but there's royalty in my blood. So I know you only spill it because you can't stand my crown. If you ever try to confront me or any of my loved ones and try to stand your ground, I'm not standing down. I will make it my mission to put you in the same position that Sandra Bland was found. 6 years later, still hashtag say her name. This shit is my reality. It is not a game, even though it's called life. The United States of America will never be all right, long as you racist motherfuckers keep trying to make it all white, and we can do this all night. Oh, before you try to tell me that you can't be racist because you only fuck black women or black men, or you got a bunch of black friends, or you saw Black Panther 5 times in the movie theater, so there is no way that my black skin could ever be something that you would hate me for, I need to know. What kind of fool do you take me for? You might not be a racist, but I'm sure you know plenty. For every 10 good white people you know, I'm sure you know 20 of the bad ones. You might not be a racist, but your dad's one, or maybe it's your mother. Or maybe it's your brother, or maybe somewhere there's a black boy being held behind bars because your sister said he kissed her, or whistled at her, or groped her, even though he's only 9 and the surveillance footage said otherwise. So yeah, maybe you just know one of the other guys that tell the other lies, you know, Barbecue Becky, Permit Patty, Corner Store Caroline, because historically minorities can't touch white women or else it's hammer time. They see black people in public here having fun as a problem. The solution is to call 911 to stop them. And then they have the audacity to play the victim when the cops come. Stop twisting the facts and resisting the stats and treating me like a criminal. My only crime is existing while black. You never keep that same energy for white boys. So your fake huffing and puffing ain't nothing but white noise. Make the right choice. Stop remaining silent in situations where your voice is vital. Remaining idle makes you just as liable. Your fingers are just as guilty as the ones pulling the trigger. Your lips is just as complicit as the ones calling me nigger. There'll be no invitation to the cookout if you don't look out for the ones on the grill. No to-go plate if you don't show face at the marches for the ones getting killed. Fuck how you feel, and fuck what you gotta say. Actions speak louder than words, so you gotta show me today that you're truly one of the good ones, or else I just have to consider you one of the bad guys too, because white tears and white fears don't matter more than black lives do. Thank you.
All right, all right. Again, that was Nick Austin from Black on Black Rhyme. Show love for the poet. Judges, what say you? Feel like I'm waiting on one more. There we go, there we go. From lowest to high, we have an 8.9, an 8.9, a 9.1, 9.1, 9.5.
The score is 27.1.
All right, clap it up for the poet, clap it up for the poet. And we're gonna keep this moving right along. We now have Team B, Slam Duval. Who were you bringing up? All right, group piece, we got a group piece coming.
You guys are muted. You need to start over.
Y'all muted us.
Things black men wish they could say to police. Take one. Action. Bang. No. Cut. Things black men wish they could say to police. Take two. Action. What the hell is it this time? This is the 7th time being pulled over in 3 days. What abomination am I today? Nah, nigger, let me see your license and registration. I'm gonna have your bag for this. I pay your taxes. I'm gonna puke all over your sobriety test. And you're gonna just slap me with a ticket. like a bitch. No, you can't search my vehicle. I don't care if the whole damn car was made of weed. Let me speak to your supervisor. I'm gonna reach into my pocket. And you're gonna act like this is not the end of the world. You're gonna see me. Yes, I'm driving with a suspended license. You know a nigga got somewhere to be right now. But no, I don't use illegal prescriptions. You're not the master of my fate. How do we look alike? Nigga, I'm 5'9" and he's 6'8". Did you leave your classman's hoodie home today? Sir, can you please step out of the vehicle? Nah, nigga, I will not. This is the day that black people nigga rid themselves some freedom. Tell me the truth. Are these laws even for us? Do the forefathers include us in equality? Black people wrote the Declaration of Independence and stitched the bloodbath you made into an American flag. Do you know how it feels to be the most feared and you're scared the most? I don't want my nephews to feel less human after encountering you. So what am I this afternoon? An arms dealer? Pill popper? Absentee father? Maybe a rapper named OG Slop Dog? Nigga, what? Your perception is not to the law. We already fit the description. It's like we should apologize for drawing breath. God Picasso us from the most loveliest of daydreams. Minerals of memories of universes long forgot. Drug dealer? Nigga, I'm broke. I'm not popping no tag. Paying for bottles $2,500 in cash. Trigger happy and not caring who's in front of the blast. I know the film Birth of a Nation gave you expectations, but you're gonna see me as a gentleman who wants positive change. Then an animal will master language, not as a force to bring you anguish. There have been kings and queens who would rather be feared, see their people as prey. Pigs wondering if this is the day of the slave. We never reveled being feared by y'all, just accept us. But since that's such a shock to the moon, then you go fuck yourself for a rabbit seahorse. I curse you with 1,000 nut shots a day. Karma from years of being screwed by the system's sword. Hopefully the bad slept light to help you see that the hands of the law wasn't made by tyranny. Now give me my damn ticket and scene.
All right, all right. Y'all show some love for that group piece from Slam Duval. Judges, what say you? Like I'm waiting on one more. All right, there we go. There we go. From lowest to high, it looks like I have an 8.4, an 8.4, 8.5, a 9.2, and a 9.3. Clap it up for the poets, not the score.
The score is 26.1.
All right, all right, all right. Remember, always clap it up for the poet and not the score. So before we go into the next poet, I want to inform everyone that final stage tickets are for sale. I'm going to be plugging that all night, $15. Make sure you go to the website. All right, so our next team coming up is Detour Slam team. Detour Slam team, who are you bringing up? All right, Nick Corman. Go ahead and test your mic.
Hello.
All right, you can go.
America sprints away from accountability like my cell phone carrier. So truthfully, I've never understood the hysteria, but historically, the biggest abortion clinic we've ever seen in this country is the United States of America itself. So for America to hate abortions, she must simultaneously hate herself. And you can disagree if you want, but hear me out before you dismiss me. But America hasn't truly been pro-life in its 244-year history. Let's rewind back to 1918 and think on a sister named Mary Turner. A white mob hung her her upside down by her feet, drenched her in gasoline, and struck a match so they could burn her simply for protesting her husband's senseless murder. See, Mary was 8 months pregnant and the mob completely stripped her of her humanity. Upon closer inspection and determined to perform an unwarranted C-section, the mob took a knife to Mary's belly and treated her like a lab animal being prepped for dissection, sliced her open like a deer in open season, severing her and her baby's connection. And upon hearing the cries for its mother, the mob proceeded to commit an act that you wouldn't even believe. They stomped the life out of this newborn until it became silent like an unpronounced letter and could no longer breathe. And truthfully, the killers were probably motivated by Birth of a Nation, the same movie that rebooted the Klan to call for the South's salvation, because they know if you kill the Black mother, father, and child, that's how you prevent the birth of a nation. And I can't help to present these facts to you with anger, because no one was talking pro-life when those bigots decided to hang her. No one was talking pro-life with the American eugenics movement, the forced sterilization of women of color, or their girl, Margaret Sanger. And you fast forward to 2021, conservatives continue to talk about being pro-life. I can't help but being pro-strife, and they can give a damn about a baby after it takes breath and begins life. How can you claim to be pro-life and lay your head on that pillow at night and not object to these harmful executive orders and continue to be complicit in the deaths of migrant children at the border and in detention centers? How can you claim your attention centers on being pro-life while advocating for the removal of grants and access to Planned Parenthood when most of their resources goes towards maternal health promotion, because only 3.4% of their services are dedicated to performing abortions? I'm full of indignation because in this nation, they only care about the baby when it's in the womb, but fail to realize their policies and lack of legislation down the line are what contribute to so many young folks being interred in their tombs. So you can't blame the legislative silence being attributed to increasing equality, equity, and decreasing gun violence, or the denial of the reality of higher levels of infant mortality among women of color on Planned Parenthood, because the combination of indolence and the ink from congressional pens has killed more of our children than abortions ever could. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Y'all make some noise, show some love to Nick Corman from Detour Slam team. Judges, what say you? What say? All right, so from lowest to highest, we have ourselves an 8.8. We have an 8.9. Then it looks like we have a 9.4. Excuse me, 9.1, 9.4, and then a 9.8. And what is that total?
The score is 27.4.
All right, y'all show some love to the poet, not the score. Y'all gonna have to excuse me from looking from, I done set up some type of technological thing going on here. And so I'm over here, but I'm over here at the same time. So I'm with y'all. All right, so, all right, we're gonna go ahead to our last team for this round. And that is Team D, Team Hija La Casa. Team Hija La Casa, who are you bringing up?
Jewel King.
Jewel King.
Yeah.
Yes, can I hear you?
Okay. My house was a battlefield. Mom had nothing to protect herself, not even a shield. Dad, on the other hand, always had this gloves on, calling the holy field. And he used mom for nothing but just to punch him back. Thank God she never got killed. The story is for real. And as the saying goes, giving is better than receiving. So dad always gave. And mom, on the other hand, had no option than to receive. And me, together with my siblings, would sit, weep, cry, and watch this action thriller on MTV. That's a music TV. So we watch my mom dance to the beat. But don't get it twisted though, because dad is a pastor, a propagator of the gospel, the preacher, and not a boxer. God only knows why he turned into a wife beater and to date. I don't understand why dad used to do what he did. I know you don't understand too, do you? Because beating up a helpless woman is like a child intentionally switching on the TV to what Scooby-Doo while he or she has been asked not to. So let's say dad was being controlled by a voice that calls him Scooby. So anytime he heard the voice Scooby, he just had to do and goes ahead and hits mom like poo. Yo, You know, Puyol, I just don't understand the reason why Dad was lifting the flag of boxing in his small town home like the flying tie neatly tied to his neck, for indeed he Tyson, yet he was no better than Mike Tyson, and I wish he had about to Tyson for the boxer to beat the hell out of him, for him to realize beating up a helpless woman, he did sin. Then I'll shout for joy at last when Dad has been beaten, that indeed the battle is not the loss nor man's but Tyson's, but it never happened because Tyson was just an imagination. So listen, life was a bit big, bigger, brittle, bitter blue pill for me to swallow. Life was shabby and I was alone, so I'll sit crawl into my shell like the turtle in one corner and wallow. But the tear did nothing and the problems kept following me like my shadow. And at night I'll cry and fight my pillow because my dad was like Riddick Bowe on this holy field, and for him there was none holy to take him out of this field. And if words are powerful, then this poem is my fist fight for my mom. Dear mom, when Dad called me son, I knew he was the moon for sure. Stars do appear at night, so I picked up my sword. He was trying to tell me, Mom, you are strong. For a woman to carry the sun, which is full of burning gases in a womb for 9 months, you should know now I'm strong and strong. So let anybody touch my mama, and I'll show them she ain't no touch screen. Let anybody touch my mama, and I'll leave marks on them as if they were the question. Let anybody touch my mama, and I'll mark their faces as if they were a book in the holy books, and Zuckerberg's book and book enough to make them face judgment. Look, this mark is gonna be tribal, and no one is gonna recognize them after I'm done marking them. Seen, I'll mark them to the extent that they won't feel good wearing the night shoes because they'll know they are wrong and not right, and that mark on the night shoes doesn't fit their body and foot. Yes, it serves you right. I'll just do it. I'll just give you a mark that reminds us of how the apostrophe sign reminds us of Judas hanging on a tree after betraying me. You just try touching my mama, all hell will break loose and the heavens will answer your prayer. Touch my mama, you touch God. My dad is the Holy Spirit that impregnated mom. I'm Jesus Christ, and we are the Trinity making manifest on earth. Holy Grail.
All right. Y'all show some love for Joe King from Team Hija La Casa. Oh, yes. Judges, what say you while I sit up here and hate on their real backdrop while mine is an imagination? It's okay. It's okay. It is all right. It is all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like maybe I'm waiting on one more. One more score. I ain't mad. They got the real backdrop. I ain't hating. I'm not hating. Do we have all the scores? It looks like only 1, 2, 3, 4. I only see 4. Four, 5. There we go. All right. So from low to high, we have an 8.5, an 8.6, an 8.7, an 8.8, and an 8.9. Y'all show some love for the poet, not the score.
The score is 26.1.
26.1 for Team Hija La Casa.
A quick announcement from the Bout manager, really quickly. Poets, please remember to put your name in the chat, or have your teammates put the name in the chat, so that way we can make sure we have the right name for the right poet. Thank you so much.
Yes, please help us out if you can. If you can. So, I think I was kind of doing the plugs wrong, but there's no right or wrong way to plug. So I'm going to do one more. I should have been doing them at this point, but since I've gotten the majority of them out, I'm going to do one more, and we're going to get into this next round of poems. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Yeah, we just went over. Please inform us of who's next in the chat. They said we're not going to promote that one. I talked about the digital swag bags. Be sure to make sure you get yours. And also we have t-shirts for sale for only $25. And then again, I talked about the Echo Park. Now I'm an advocate for Echo Park now. I'm here to tell you, because we had so much fun. I would have thought that I was actually there just seeing everyone and chilling and being on the boat and all of that stuff. So make sure you download it. It may be only on desktop I would assume so, but check out the website SouthernFriedPoetrySlam.com for more information. And with all of that is out the way, we can go ahead and get into the second round. So for the second round, we have Slam Duval, Detour Slam Team, Team Ehi, La Casa, and Black on Black Rhymes. So our first team for this round is Slam Duval. Slam Duval, who are you bringing up? Did I not give the score for Ehi La Casa? I do apologize. It was a 26.1. All right. Slam Duval, who are you bringing up? Okay, then we're bringing up Eric Jamal. Y'all show some love for Eric Jamal.
Hello.
Sound good.
To my brothers with daughters, we call this. To my brothers with daughters, we call this survival, an anthology for men, raising baby girls in a world that view women as materialistic objects, in a world that prefer you hush, rather than use your vocal cords to baptize the silence as fathers. We can't just be loving, but we must be brave, because when her maturity sucker punches both of us in the mouths, I'll tell her not to keep her head down. Watch the sun and see your reflection. To my brothers with daughters, we call this Genesis, her epic of self-discovery, roaming these lands where women need to know their place. Be beautiful, but don't slay too hard. Have knowledge yourself, but don't show it. Be wary of your tone of voice in a place where you're supposed to be voiceless. Fuck that. You slay so hard, it's like you got dragon heads attached to your ankles. Like Black Panther's little sister, you sold that damsel in distress shit really isn't your cup of tea. Sure, your voice can speak volumes, but don't be afraid to let that voice have a percussion of a Bruce Lee stare down. To my brothers with daughters, we call this sabotage. Going up against the status quo can sprout gray hairs on your eyelashes. For the men, raising bright futures in a world full of shade, where they would call her bitch when convenient, or slut when she won't bow to another loathing man's insecurity, when she is the only woman in a room full of swinging dicks and roaming thoughts. Do we tell her to A, leave the room, or let their eyes behold something that they can't touch or own? And the answer is both, because in this continental scapegoat, women need to play the game how it goes. They must snatch your dignity from between your legs and say you deserved it. Scorn your whispered sorrows, then bend your struggle to male opinions. See you as mysterious as oceans, but dare to know your origin. And as fathers, this is reality. Holding on to your daughter with wrecking ball arms, using this comment of a right hook to hold her hand through the treachery. This is paying tithes to your weed man. That sack of weed saved that two-legged sack of shit who couldn't tell the difference between catcalling and borderline rapist psycho. We gotta keep our composure in a world where a solid no means unwanted flirtation, where you don't know if the money you save is for college tuition or for lawyer fees. So as a father, how can you tell our daughters to shine in a world that takes offense to her kind, the loud kind, the you can't have my mind, body, nor soul kind? I know my nappy ass hair holds hidden truth to our origin kind, the who you calling a bitch kind, because be safe out there is secretly a sacred prayer, hoping that we make it home in this matrix cesspool. We tell them to follow their hearts, not to tuck their hurts underneath their skirts. We tell them they are defined by a practical joker who laughed the stars into existence, so not even daddy can determine who you are. You are a motherfucking woman, the most diabolical badass to ever put the ball. So whenever her womanhood becomes a dress she can't fit, you tell her it's hers to own, so you work that shit. So to my brothers with daughters, to my brothers with daughters, to my brothers with daughters, we call this fatherhood.
All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah. Excuse me, excuse me. Y'all show some love once again for Eric Jamal with Slam Duval. Put that love in the chats. Okay, all right. I ain't have to wait this time for the judges. Here we go from lowest to high. We have an 8.9. We have a 9.1. We have a 9.4. We have a 9.5. And we have a 9.5. Again, y'all clap it up. Clap it up. What is that?
The score is 28 even.
All right, that's 28 even for Slam Duval. We're gonna hop on along to Team C, which is the Detour Slam team. Who are you all bringing up, Detour? Oh, Rena Speaks. Y'all show some love for Rena Speaks.
Hello.
All right, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Welcome. We hope you enjoyed your flight into our land. This is green grass, white picket fences, and dream homes. Also, tune in to tiny homes, where you'll see people live in tiny homes for fun, when there's people out in the street who don't have one. This is taking pills for every illness, but not having compassion for those who now have a taking pills illness. Please make yourself at home. This is popularity and celebrities who have enough for themselves, but not your child's GoFundMe. This is having an education lottery, but our schools couldn't even afford a class on pottery. This is I have just as many jobs as I have kids because they need to eat and we need to live. This is higher incarceration rates than graduation rates. This is still buying albums full of songs that scream terror, but we tuned it out like we did R. Kelly's errors. This is opioid crisis as if the crack epidemic didn't exist. This is mass shootings by kids. This is build new housing, but no affordable housing. This is forgive everyone else but Vic for dog fighting. This is get mad at not standing for the flag. This is I have more than you, so I brag. This is just as many teen pregnancies as teen suicides. This is also Carolina blue skies. This is Kentucky fried. This is Harlem gentrified. This is being shot and unarmed and cops going free. This land was made for you and me. This is my 600-pound life because I've been eating democracy's lies. We hope you enjoyed your flight. Right this way, watch your step. Here lies a homeless veteran, an oxymoron, but to us, he's a moron. I stopped and asked, didn't you fight for your right not to be on this sidewalk? He said, no, it turns out I fought for more war talk. This is poverty. But only third world countries have slums. This is the beat of Flint, Michigan's drum. This is Stars and Stripes, riots and fights, quarter pills for blood spills, travel bans and fashion brands. This. Welcome to my land. This is America. Thank you.
All right. Show some love for Rena Speaks with Detour Slam team. Judges, what say you? What y'all got for me? Okay, we got all 5 of them. Here we go from lowest to high. We have an 8.8. We have a 8.9. I see a 9. I see a 9.3. And I see a 9.9.
The score is 27.2.
All right, 27.2. That is for Detour Slam team. Again, clap it up for the poet. And we're about to go on over to Team D. Team E Casa. I'm working on that. I'm letting you know. I'm gonna have it perfected by the end of the night. Who are you bringing up?
F.A.
F.A. All right, y'all show some love. Go ahead.
Black, beautiful. Black, beautiful girl. Black, beautiful, strong girl. Black, beautiful, strong, smart girl. Black, beautiful girl. Black, beautiful, strong girl. Black, beautiful, strong, smart girl. For years, this is what I've been told I am. what I've been told I should be. Couldn't shed a tear in pain, cause well, you are the strong girl. Couldn't be more than girl, woman, chick, or babe. Couldn't feel not pretty. Couldn't change my skin color for anything, but F.A. Yes, F.A. be black and beautiful. But every time I stand before a mirror, I want to carve my skin out. Trade this beautiful piece of melanin into anything besides what I see as reflection. F.A. Black, beautiful, girl. Anytime and always I raise my hand up to girl power. But sometimes I wish I wasn't such pussy. Too scared of my shadow behind me or my reflection before me. Black, beautiful, strong girl. But I do not have arms always strong enough to reach out or hold on to. See, I need help. I want to be held. I want my hands to be held. I need a hug. I want to be told it's okay to not be okay, because God be the only strong one. F.A. Black. Black, beautiful. Black, beautiful girl. Black, beautiful, strong girl. Black, beautiful, strong, smart girl. But I just want to be poet. Thing is, poets are usually all these and more, so maybe F.A. Poet. After all, I'm F.A. the poet. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Once again, that was F.A. from Team Hija La Casa. Judges, what say you? All right, here we go. Well, I was about to get into it. Y'all know I was about to. From lowest to high, we have an 8.9, an 8.9, a 9, a 9.3, and a 9.5. Y'all show some love for the poet.
The score is 27.2.
Oh, okay then. 27.2 is the score for Team Hija La Casa. And ending off this round, we have Black on Black Rhyme. Black on Black Rhyme. Who are you bringing up?
Hakeem Furious.
Oh man, Hakeem Furious, everyone.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
The saying the creeps come out at night is not a myth, is 100% true. Filled with sleepwalk stalkers, PM peeping toms, the horny and the homeless. I work the graveyard shift at a gas station. The zombies come and pay me a visit like they can smell the blood on my hands. If a person cares about community, then they will invest themselves in that community. Ever since I started working for the petroleum industry, I've entered people's routines and monotony, daily visits where we develop a relationship with each other. I say good morning as they grunt at me for their coffees and smokes. They track their muddy boots all over my freshly mopped floor and continuously forget what pump they're on. What do you mean you want 15 on the Prius? There's 6 Priuses here. This hourly wage has turned me into the quiet assailant of death. I sit silently as I make sure the soda is stocked, selling high fructose corn syrup by the liters. I feel like the government hustling sugar and gas. I sell lottery tickets by the loads. The fiends come and peel the numbers back like they're erasing all the wrongdoing they've ever done. Every shift, a woman comes in and spends the college tuition on crosswords and bingos. I am binge watching this tug of war of you win some, you lose some in this material world. Success is a lottery. You can work harder than anyone else. Cloak yourself with enough hope and good faith, and there won't always be a winning ticket. Sometimes you need to change directions and try a new ride or play the game until there's a big bonanza behind box number 6. My favorite part is the cigarettes, the jump start to a person's day. Marlboro Mondays, new pack of Newports by noon, sometimes selling Camels by the carton, hundreds on your lunch break. It's the American spirit. I listen to people explain why they smoke certain cigarettes because it's healthy healthier for them. It's as absurd as claiming that your God is the only God. And by the end of the shift, I am fluent in menthol, a premium packaged product for pollution and profit. Philip Morris is truly making a killing. My sleep schedule promotes both insomnia and narcolepsy, but that doesn't get to me. There's nothing I couldn't handle until one day a high school boy walks in, Kleenex skin tone, and buys tea and some candy, his friend, a blunt wrap, and some cigarettes. Don't they know the time bomb they strapped on their chest, angered by the fact in 6 hours there'll be no cause of terror or questioning by the police or interviewing for video footage? Those oblivious boys carelessly escaped their assassination. 40-hour work weeks, and nothing is more exhausting than the extinction of my people. It wears on me like a uniform. This convenience store rigor mortis, embalming my spirit with melanin and love, hustling every day until my body becomes fossil fuel. Thank you.
All right. Y'all show some love. Show some love for Hakeem Furious. Judges throwing up their scores for us. Okay, okay. All right, look like I got all 5 of them, and I do. So from lowest to high, we have a 9, 9.4, 9.4, 9.5, and a 9.5. And are you gonna? No? Okay.
Is there a scorekeeper present?
Sorry, y'all, a couple of technical difficulties. With a time penalty of -1, the final score is 27.3.
All right, y'all show how y'all feel about that in the chat, the time penalty, but that is a 27.3.
That is correct, 27.3.
That is a 27.3 for Black on Black rhyme. Y'all show some love for the poet and not the score. All right, so we are about to go into our indie. And we have our first indie for the evening. I told you we have 2 of them. So y'all come and be prepared. We have Tishwana Westby.
Yes, Shoshana.
Tishana, I knew that.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
They called her loose because she found an alternative creative method to exemplify the love she felt she could use. And although she was honest about her truth, her family's ways to deem her ways dark came from them switching her light switch to off so they could hide behind the shadows in the room. But she was liberated. No need to pretend like the rest of her kin, for she knew security. Like when he would place his hand underneath the arch of her back while her hair tipped back, forcing her to face her past, he let her know that it was safe to transition forward, away from the horrors of monsters dressed like uncles who reminded her that there isn't such thing as monsters, regardless of what Granny said, because when she was with him, she didn't have to fear what crept underneath her bed, for she felt protected by the warmth of his warm body pressed between her legs in heaven, so that each thrust became a thunderous blessing. Thanking the gods for such a manifestation of creation and chiseled beauty. See, he gave her stability by allowing her to plant her feet behind him, because as long as he was inside of her, he was an anchor away from the troubled waters and chains that kept linked to abandoned ships with slaughtered bodies, where they left bodies in her body, forcing her to become attuned for all the wounds of unborn bodies of ancestral secrets. See, she knew how to keep secrets. Therefore, she knew strength. Because when he would lift her, it reminded her of her worth. And she felt like this man was strong enough to lift her up above all of her hurts. And she felt like every inch of the lift could help her push every, oh my God, help me, wish that may have been caught in the stars on their way to God a little bit further. See, she thought that this was what love was for, so she would ask for more, and he would feed her with more lies, making her feel like these moments would last for eternity, but at least she knew he'd come, unlike her daddy that said he'd come on more than one occasion. So she would look at this man and say, oh, daddy, and then she would cry, and those cries would sound like broken lullabies that would rock broken promises to sleep for all the unborn babies that she would never get to see. So she would look at this man and say, oh, baby, don't stop loving me, don't stop holding me, don't stop making me feel like I'm your one and only. But those moments will always stop. See, those moments were never meant to last. And as soon as she lay down with one of those men, they quickly became the ghosts of her past, because they too had to depart. See, love, it made her smart, and giving her love away was her art. It taught her that you could get paid when Ken can get it for free. So she sold her love to the streets with no consideration. Her family paid well for her education, for that's all she knew to do. Because what's a tight-knit family when all the parts that's supposed to hold it together in security, stability, love, and truth eventually all unravel and become loose? Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. Y'all show some love again for Tashana Westby. See, my eyes switched the W and the A, but I'm here with you. All right, judges, what say you? What say you? What say you? All right, here we go. So from lowest to high, we have an 8.8. We have a 9.0. We have a 9.1, 9.2, and a 9.3.
The score is 27.3.
All right, 27.3 for Tashana Westby. Y'all clap it up for the poet, not the score. I do want to remind you all that we are having the Slam Master Slam tonight at 11 p.m. and we do need judges. So if you judge tonight and you know you got time to spare on this Tuesday, holler at us and we can utilize you again. And as always, we appreciate everyone for the support, the bout managers, everyone who is volunteering their time, scorekeeper, timekeeper, all of that. Thank you so much. This has just been so great. We're about to take a break, 5 minutes. Go get your libations, get your lift stations, go use the restroom, and then be back in 5 minutes so that we can get this thing started. All right? All right. Anybody else got anything to say? Okay, no. See you in 5 minutes.
Hey teams, I see that you're on a break and all that. Bout manager Kenneth just put in a document, a form that we need everybody to fill out before you leave. This is the form that tells us what the titles and pieces and poets are. So please fill that out before we're done. You can start filling it out now if you have that information.
All right, I'm here. Is everybody back? Is everybody back? Is the judges back? We need the judges to turn on their cameras. If you're back, and poets check in the chat or something. Everybody, where y'all at? We're missing 2 judges. Where y'all at? All judges present, and all of the poets are present, right? We're about to go.
We have all judges and all, we have the scorekeeper and timekeeper present, so let's roll.
All right.
Thank you all for being punctual poets. That's awesome.
I know that's right. Okay, so we are about to start off round 3. Only one more to go. And so for the first team of round 3, we have Detour Slam team. Detour Slam team, who are you sending up? Poetic Zay.
Hello?
All right, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Dear Black woman, I'm sorry for failing you. From absent-minded fathers lacking time, finances, or emotion. From previous ex-lovers who only wanted your body and disregarded of your heart and emotion. From family members that innocence and peace of mind was broken. From the boy who laughed in class when your darker complexion was noticed. I am sorry. On behalf of all men in hell, we are sorry. Dear Black woman, did you know that a boy can never do the work of a man, so I give him another chance to break your heart? Woman, it's not fair that the real men in your life must watch and observe as a boy precisely destroys his woman's worth. But when and if a real man catches your heart, it is now his responsibility to repair everything the last tore apart. How is this fair? Exchanging his blind trust for your guarded investments because your anticipation of, girl, he gonna hurt me just like all the rest, is inevitable. Please understand that there are men who would love you from sun ups to sundowns, respect you from the bottom of your toes to the tip of your crown, but they cannot help you find worth within your own skin. Dear Black woman, did you know that, dear Black woman, why allow this guy to play you to the side as if you were not the same Black woman that puts the sweet and sweet potato pie, as if your combination of humming and melodies mixed with the stirring of the baked mac and cheese doesn't make me think of culture and tradition with a motherland that I never got to see. So don't you dare let any being, especially that a man, tell you that you were anything less, because you are roots firmly planted in us Black men producing fruits for all cultures can bear. Dear Black woman, I know we don't always make it easy, but I say love your Black men. Love your Black men because we are brought up to respect and admire all that you are, from the curls in your hair to the attitude from your lips, even all the way down to the curves on your hips. Love that Black man because he is conditioned to love every part of you, but are you conditioned for his love and vulnerable attitude? Know that society has taught him to disregard of his emotion and shelter his insecurities without regard or notice. He battles social norms and influence from his peers, encouraging him that relationships and intimacy are things of his ancestors' years. Love that Black man and not that Black boy, because that Black man has loved you from shadows to sickness and in health. Woman, that black man even loved you when you didn't love yourself. So if he feels comfortable enough to be vulnerable with you, wrap him in words of peace, not words of ridicule. Speak things of kindness and diction that is good, because your words plant the seeds to his manhood. Love that black man because the world you live in won't. And the last thing he needs is a woman of his dreams, crushing his hopes, especially if his hopes may lie within you. So dear black woman, love that black man from the strength in his voice to the error in his ways, even all the way down to the hurt in his pain. Love that black man simply because if you haven't heard it enough, or at all for that matter, we need you. Thank you.
Okay, now. I'll show some love for Poetic Zay from Detour Slam team. Judges, what say you? What you gotta say? Let us know. Holler if you hear me. Okay, then we got all 5. Here we go. From lowest to high. We got an 8.6. We got a 9, another 9, 9.3, and a 9.6. Make sure I said that correctly. 8.6, a 9, a 9, a 9.3, and a 9.6, which gives us a score of
27.3.
Yeah, 27.3. See, we got it down pat now. You know, halfway through, you know what to do. Anyway, y'all show some more love for Poetic Zay and Detour Slam team. Next up, we have Team Casa. Who are you bringing up?
Natty.
All
Natty,
right.
Bunkwa, and Fiber.
Is this a group piece?
Yes.
Group piece, go ahead.
Hozago, Hozago, Hozago. Hozago, 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 Hozago. Hozago, ding ding, Hozago. Africa, the richest continent, yet the poorest. When the rich man begins to cry for help in this content, tell me, how can the poor rest? We have traded our birthright for guns, pounds, and dollars just to look within our rivers, lands, and forests. The unimaginable wealth that lies beneath the dew of our earth's soil. Diamond, gold, cocoa, ivory, and timber, just to name a few, amidst the large basins of oil. So please allow me to ask Africa, why?
We have enough to feed the rest of the world, including every hungry mouth in Africa. Yet we subject our own brothers to war, starvation, and massacre. And of all the continents, we are known as the #1 bloodsucker, the backtracker. But we also remember that back in the day, we used to be far, far richer. So please allow me to ask Africa, why?
We provide the rest of the world with the largest amount of minerals, but yet we wallow in poverty with all our religious leaders, economic gurus, and academic generals. And the rest of the world get to attend always our funerals. So please allow me to ask Africa, why?
How independent is our independence? How free is our freedom? Why have we allowed evil to take residence and allowed corruption to rule our kingdom? Why have we allowed politics and religion to undermine our intelligence? What happened to the ancestral wisdom, oh Africa?
Why?
We produce cocoa, yet how many of us can afford a chocolate bar? If after all these years we still can't process our own raw materials, and I'm sorry to say we still don't know who we are. And I find this phenomenon to be too bizarre, reason I keep asking Africa, why?
We are quick to blame it all on our colonial masters, but the problem actually lies with our psychological monsters. I don't think this got anything to do with our blackness, cause forever we were asking, and oh yeah, some of us with so much gladness. So if I be an African to the day I die, and it's only right for me to ask Africa, why?
Why can't we break those chains that hold us bound to mental slavery? Why can't we listen to the prophets Marcus Garvey, Fela Kuti, Robert and Stamali, far beyond their musical delivery and political bravery? Why can't we emancipate ourselves from the stories that make us utterly inferior to the present world and throughout all of history, oh Africa?
Why? Have our blessings become a curse? Have we inherited enviable wealth only to leave us wet? And I'm still looking forward to the day where once again we shall boast of servant leaders and not just rulers. Men and women who assume political positions not for their selfish interest, no, not to fool us. Oh Africa, why?
Many prophets have we had, many have we lost. They continue to live on in our hearts because today we still fight the battle they once fought. Our freedom, alas, with their dear lives they bought. Oh Africa,
Please hear beyond the words we speak, for it is not the accolades and applause of men we seek, but that we all wake up to a new Africa. Enough of the sleep.
For if you and I be Africans to the day we die, it is only right we join voices in asking Africa.
Why?
Africa.
Why?
Africa.
Why?
All right. Show some love for Team Casa. Casa. That was a group piece. Judges, what say you? All right, there we go. So from lowest to high, we have a 9.1. We have a 9.5, a 9.7, a 9.8, and a 9.8. Which gives us a score of?
The highest score for tonight with a 29 even.
One time for the highest score of tonight, Team Casa. I know that's right. Show some love for the poet and the score. I know that's right. So here we go. We're going on to the next team. That is Black on Black Rhymes. Who are you bringing up? All right, they're bringing up Dennis. Dennis Amadeus.
Check.
All right, we can hear you. Go ahead.
When I was younger, my favorite comic book of all time was The Death of Superman. You see, as an avid Marvel Comics reader, I thought there was nothing more glorious than seeing the most ridiculously overpowered character in the history of the universe get beaten to death by Doomsday. I mean, seriously. Superman is a terrible comic book. There's no real struggle, no real sense of danger, so to me, there was never any real story, and I always wondered, why even waste my time reading this boring stuff, especially when I already had my own version of Superman in my life, my older brother. And his story of a bad guy gone good is a greater superhero tale than any of those hack comic writers could create. In 2004, my brother tried to rob a bank. Now, I like to call that the day his planet Krypton exploded, because that severe lapse in judgment rocketed him to a year-long sentence in a federal penitentiary. Wait, what's that? It's a jailbird. It's a slave. No, it's a black man who saw himself as much more than the typecast roles this world forced him into. His time spent in that fortress of solitude gave him a full rotation around the sun. Unlocking this unparalleled strength, he stopped the speeding bullet of his life and propelled it toward the law school. Manifesting a drive that was more powerful than a locomotive, he didn't just leap a tall building in a single bound. He hurdled the bar. He became indestructible, unable to be defeated by anything. So I can't even begin to imagine how bizarro he must have felt when doctors told him that they discovered kryptonite sprouting from inside his own body. Maybe that's why he didn't tell anybody about his diagnosis for 4 years, because he knew that when his dark side was finally exposed, his secret identity would die along with his invulnerability. He no longer had the luxury of Clark Kenting his loved ones from his pain. And that S on his chest was now a permanent indicator of his fight against Doomsday. And even though it was a fight to the death, even though his dedicated Lois Lane left his side, even though his body became a bigger burden than Lex Luthor, he still refused to not shine. That's why 2 years later, after all those parasite attacks, all those surgeries to remove the icy breath of death from his lungs, the knowledge that this arch nemesis would keep popping up in more issues, I still demanded that he flew me to his metropolis. And not because I wanted to see him in his last days, but because I wanted to party with a Superman again. But the truth is that there is no story arc dark enough that could prepare me for what I saw, because I wasn't ready to cart Superman around in a wheelchair. I wasn't ready to meet Kal-El coughing blood into tissues. I wasn't ready to see him with more pill bottles than champagne bottles. I mean, to me, he would be fine. To me, he was the man of tomorrow, and tomorrow never dies. So I refuse to accept that that would be the end of a series. The death of Superman took on a new meaning to me when he finally passed away. There's this uncomfortable truth that is exposed when great men meet even greater monsters. No matter how super a man is, he will still suffer from the limitations of just being a man. Sometimes there is just no happy ending for the good guys, even if they're the man of steel. Thank you.
Okay. Y'all show some love to Dennis Amadeus from Black on Black Rhyme. Let's go, judges. What say you?
Fuck yeah, baby! The only 10 in the belt, you motherfucker!
Is you gonna mute yourself? I know that's right, though. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad. I know that's right. But anyway, let me get to the score. That was funny. That was funny. Okay, man, let me do this. Hold on. Okay, so from lowest to high, we got 9.6, 9.7, 9.8, 9.8, and a 10. You MNFers.
We have a new highest score for the night with a 29.3.
Y'all show some love to Black on Black Rhyme, Dennis Amadeus, MNFers. Show some love. I got saved last Tuesday, so I don't cuss no more online. Online. But anyway, we're going on to the last team of this round, which is Slam Duval. Slam Duval, who are you bringing up? Group piece. All right now, let me hear you. Make sure you sound good, sound nice.
Hello, hello.
We can hear you, go ahead.
I want to punch a Nazi in the face. I want to squeeze my fingers tight against my palm, make a black power fist, and make him think it's a bomb at the end of my wrist. I want to throw hands with wannabe Hitlers, quicker than bullets leaving police guns. When encountering someone black and young, quicker than Harriet Tubman on the run. So fast, Cassius Clay couldn't dodge it. Ooh, I want to let my fist flow like a faucet. I want to punch a Nazi in the face, but I hesitate. Because then you white centrists could paint them as the victim. You would use that one isolated act to try to justify all of racism. Yes, you, white centrist who would have voted for Obama a third time, who purposely ignores the blurred lines, who in the face of Black death sit in silence. You, who believe there is never a justification for violence. You, who will regurgitate MLK quotes to suggest I turn the other cheek because you don't have to count the churches burned that week. Your breath reeks of entitlement, as if your uninformed opinion had any bearing. Your blaring fallacy to fill up galaxies. It's clear to me we live in two different realities because I want to punch a Nazi in the face, but I hesitate because being Black means holding back. It means letting you talk until your face is blue as I bite my tongue red because your privilege is white. This conversation is the opposite of Black life. It doesn't matter because regardless of what I do or don't do, your minds are already made up, just like post-racial America. And for those of you who would misuse his quote, MLK once wrote a letter from the cell of a Birmingham jail in which he said it is the white centrists who are a bigger reason progress continues to fail than the Ku Klux Klanners. Because you guys are more devoted to minding your manners than you are to justice or truth. Because after all, it's not your neck in the noose, it's mine. So it's high time that you realize that centrism isn't synonymous with moral superiority. Your attempts to be impartial and colorblind have left you completely blind to how neutrality can dictate the growth of evil. A centrist is just a lazy supremacist. Never forget, everything Hitler did was legal. And millions of people died because of his hate. And fascism cannot be defeated via debate, which is why I'm gonna punch a Nazi in the motherfucking face. Because if America got one thing right in the 40s, is that the only good Nazi is a dead one. Yeah. So I'm serving them all up knuckle sandwiches. They gonna eat every last breadcrumb. And my ashes is coming more directly. You're not gonna catch me at some watches sponsored by Pepsi. I'm gonna punch a Nazi in the face and make it look sexy. I'm gonna make it hurt like my fist had systematic backing when I blacken his eyes. So watch me imbue my fist with the spirit of Nat Turner's army, plus Saitama, Sasa Shakur, and Marcus Garvey, and let loose with a leftist hook that'll leave the whole alt-right shook. And I'll admit, it might not make sense to beat sense into people one at a time, but you never know unless you try.
Okay. And that was a group piece from Slam Duval. Y'all show some love for Slam Duval. Judges, what say you? All right, we got all 5. From lowest to high, we have a 9.1, 9.4, 9.4, 9.5, and a 9.9. Y'all show some love for Slam Duval.
The score is 28.3.
28.3 for Slam Duval. Listen, we got another indie. Make sure you like Southern Fried on Stitch and TikTok, or Stitcher videos of TikTok. You can tell I don't know. Stitcher videos on over there to TikTok. And then post it to the Facebook and reel it to the Instagram, if you would. But our indie poet for the night, our last indie poet for the night is Gwen C. Y'all show some love.
Mic check. Hello.
All right, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Scrolled. April 5th bout to be trolled because my words violate caution tape of unpoetic scenes. One shot heard, then nonstop. Scrolling. MSN.com. Article addressing Black man dead because of a shower head. Insert edit. Black man dead because of a power head on the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Martin Luther King. Scrolling. Followed by Master's Live speaking golf tweets after an ace. Where's America's tweets about injustice to the human race? A tweet would be a post. A post is used to erect a fence, stop hurdling said fence and stand. Scrolling. Fiery bubble fascinates internet. Scrolling. Why you should save your eggshells. Is that so? Unarmed Black folks can have them to walk on in the presence of authority. Scrolling. Teacher pranks a student found asleep. Shouldn't be an issue since the majority of the U.S. is too. Sleepwalking in courtrooms. Daydreaming during jury duty in a grand scheme. Returning no indictments. Oh, wow, you were conditioned by media's hints, engaged by tactics like fiery bubble in the sea, so that you continue to not see. Scrolling, breathtaking sights you can see for free. A Black man has the potential to experience breathtaking in his own backyard, car at the mark for being on the radar as a child playing in the park from grade school start. Scrolling, 50 best things about being over 50. Here's one. How about living while Black while reaching a half century, unkilled by the streets or police? Found cops, regardless of their ethnicities, compile the worst gangs in U.S. cities. Colors, nightmares walking, scrolling, how to pay off $5,000 debt, scrolling, photos that make you laugh out loud. How about photos of love? Bible says we shall. John 13:35, but this everyone will know you are my disciples if you love one another. Righteous we are, yet we don't fight for our brothers nor our sisters' lives. Scrolling, Harvey Looter gets 20 years. My heart is from Houston. But how you get 20 as a looter when active shooter police get administrative or paid leave time served? Then greeted with a handshake, gun, and badge, or maybe just resign. No, they got coverage for civil suit, like media's coverage in which they design as an expose someone's past. Oops. Recreated for prime time, proving a colorful existence as they outline the character of the victim, darkening pigments attempts to villainize before flashing them in front of America's clenched and shot eyes, who's readily await the streams of attention they get when they rebuke Black lies, tasting the taint, feeding for the twist so they can pop off lips and judge us who face their own kind, discriminating, or others' attempts at artificial insemination, trying to censor what we produce by screaming appropriation. You might cash me outside, planting seeds in the soil you love to see slums, washing dirt from within your scar, let heart beat to prevent weeds. But as long as your grass is green, you forget like Emmett did with your grandparents. We all bleed the same, but you won't give a damn till your blood is on pavement or your family is wrongly taken. Your body is alive, yet your soul has not yet awakened.
Okay, I know that's right. Y'all show some love, if you will, for our indie poet, our second indie poet for this bout, Gwen C. Judges, what say you? Okay, then. So from low to high, we got an 8.5. We have a 8.9. I see a 9. Excuse me, another 8.9, a 9, and a 9. And I'm going to repeat that. 8.5, 8.9, 8.9, a 9, and a 9, which gives us a score of
26.8.
All right, 26.8. Y'all show some love for the poet. Let me see. Y'all know I got some plugs to give out before we go into this next round, because y'all ain't gonna get me fired. Anyway, remember Slam Master Slam tonight at 11. We need judges. We have digital swag bag and shirts for sale for $25. Be sure to check out our Echo Park after all of the bouts are going on. We have different type of slams going on throughout there, and you can ride on the boat. That's all I know. You can ride on the boat. Then also, while you're on our Southern Fried website to purchase that t-shirt and such, be sure to join the membership. It's only $20. And also the final stage tickets are for sale now on the website for only $15. Now we're about to get into the last round of the evening. And starting off that round, we have Team Hija La Casa. So I want to know who they're bringing up. Y'all there? All right, I see y'all. I just can't hear y'all. Y'all still on mute.
Still am I blowing the horn? Because it seems you did not hear the sounds of my soliloquies. Many are they who mourn, and it's all because of our selfishness and so much greed. Respect is gone, so politics of insult is what we are, teaching political wannabes. And anytime we get behind the microphone, it's all political debt and immoralities. Tears in my left eye for generations unborn, those with no choice than to accept our precepts and legacies. We condone misplaced priorities, conform to unrealistic administrative policies. Our reforms are sugar-coated fallacies, constructed carefully by self-centered Pharisees. My heart bleeds, but anytime I think of these, I see it's better for me to be broke and have my peace than for me to die young and leave behind all the things that I seek to achieve. So please do not war with me. I need somebody to walk with me and tell the government and those in authority that we are tired of inequalities, but God alone be the judge when our souls transcend the galaxies. Look, to win our vote in their political fight, they fake their smiles and hide their canines, and just when we are not looking to take a bite, yes, I guess we taste nice. For the glory of their wallets, they kill our brothers and borderless while living in this and children fatherless. What good is a man if he's penniless? Dignified blood money. They kill us so they can forever lick honey. So while they ride in their Ferraris, V8s and Mercedes, they instigate fights between we and our brothers, so we slit one another with machetes. So you see why I feel the war in my veins, cause after power is gained, it's all political games inspired by the love of money and fame. So much weight on my shoulders, cause government after government to look back and realize that this is not what they told us. So must we always be the toy soldiers for anybody and everybody to just come and play us? Enough of this wickedness. This war in my veins that I feel is as a result of the pain that is real. Exactly what is making it impossible for me to chill. So tonight, this piece is to all the Julius Caesars, those who cut us deep with their Caesars after they open up our wounds with grit and watch us undergo their seizures. With the lens of corruption, they oversee us, forcing us to drink concoctions, proudly calling themselves global economic overseers. Overseers look past my smile and feel the agony of an African youth like me. God knows I desire to walk my African girl down the aisle and finally get to call her my wifey. But how can I, when job vacancies are only for the elite in society, for those who connect to the high and mighty? The Humino syndrome has rendered useless the degree from the university, so the journey has become witty. A lady finding a job depends on whether or not she's pretty. You will not agree with me, but I believe you're also wondering what really happened to merit and integrity. However, the current economic crisis is no excuse to join ISIS. Yeah, that news, nobody likes it, though our leaders constantly push out to the wall and destroy the structures, though expansion of our prison walls has become their interest. And I ask myself, so have we been set up to fail? Have we been set up for crime? Maybe my man is blown and I'm still here looking for answers, but I believe I'm not alone in this struggle. A lot of youth going through similar hustle, but why do you choose to keep quiet? For how long will you keep silent? Words of Napoleon. The world suffers today not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence of good people. Our father's world is changed, but we have a choice either to keep quiet or war in our pains till we all see change. This is a war in my veins, the soul in my poetic veins. Thank you.
All right, all right. Y'all show some love for Nati with Team Hija La Casa. Judges, what say you? There we go. So from lowest to high, we have a 9. We have a 9.1. We have a 9.2. We have a 9.3. And we have a 9.5. Y'all clap it up. And that gives us a score of
27.6.
27.6. Y'all clap it up for the poet. Never the score. And we're going to swerve right on along the black on black rhymes. Who y'all bringing up? Derek Stanifer. Y'all show some love for Derek Stanifer. Make sure we can hear you. All right.
The number one rule of slavery was to make white folks money. And then we overlooking the fact that this system is still going. They could care less about the fate of the black race because they set us free and they still getting paid. So let's get one thing straight. If you got a job, you a slave, and you ain't being bought no more, you getting paid. And if he can afford to pay you and your coworkers, how much you think he make? And who make the laws that we break? Who dictates whether or not we can or we can't? We lying to ourselves if we say we ain't slaves. Like why black folk desire all the white owned brand names, and why Michael Jordan don't own J's, and why Michael Jordan sell out the race, and how the Statue of Liberty gonna be the patron saint. See, the Statue of Liberty, she's supposed to have a black face, but to be honest, we have no idea how slavery destroyed our race. We don't have a language, nor religion, nor an economic system, and too many black men getting locked up in prison, and white folks get damn near all our spending. Why? Because we don't support black businesses to prevent it. And all the top black talent go to white schools for their picking. It's a part of their system. We are living in white supremacy racism. And I know y'all don't want to hear this, but a huge part of our oppression is religion. Like how Jesus was born in Africa but don't look like us. And why black folks still get on and go straight to the back of the bus. Slavery made them trillions. You think they're gonna make that joint right? Turn slavery into capitalism overnight and didn't think twice. It's built around this concept of you wanting what you can't have. So we'll work twice as hard and then only get half, and then we think slavery is over because we had a black president. And then black folks quick to say that I'm racist. Black folk, we can't be racist. That's not the way they made it. We need to open our eyes to where racism is. And we need to really realize what slavery did. And many proud ones said they wasn't going to be branded. Many jumped overboard and died right there in the Atlantic. And we are the descendants of an enslaved people, stolen from Africa, worked 500 years, set free. And now we're proud to be from America. And don't nobody see nothing wrong with that. And we comfortable over here. Ain't got no plans of going back. So we bragging about what we got while they benefiting off what we lack. Like unity or a functional black community, or how poor immigrants set up shop in our neighborhoods and make money off us usually. Don't believe me? Who own the liquor stores or the gas stations that we fill up on, and who providing us all with these name brand clothes? And what's crazy is our boss gives us our checks and we run to the malls to get more. Yeah, we always talking about wait till we get some dough and sell ourselves pipe dreams of the property we gonna own, but overlooking the fact that we slaves until we well past old. Ain't no slave codes. We no longer being bought or sold. They took the chains off our bodies, but on our minds got a strong hold with no plans of letting go. And what's crazy is a lot of us don't believe, but it's cool though, because I got some Dr. Martin Luther King in me, and I'm gonna keep fighting for my people until my people are free. Thank you.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Y'all show some more love for Derek Stanifer from Black on Black Rhyme. Judges, what say you? What you gotta say? All right, there we go. So from lowest to high, looks like we have a 9.2, a 9.2, a 9.4, a 9.8, and a 10, which gives us a score of
28.4.
28.4. Y'all show some love for the poet, not the score. Okay, okay. And so here we go. We're scrolling on down to Slam Duval. Slam Duval. Who are you bringing up? Shock T. Y'all show some love for Shock T.
Hello.
Go ahead. We can hear you.
So there I was, just sitting there, minding my own business. When out of the corner of my ear, I hear, "Man, shoot, at least not as dark as Tiana." Loud enough to make sure I heard their words use my skin as self-defense, touting that they are better than me because they are lighter by a fraction of a pigment. Ignorant, like them being lighter than me gives them some kind of advantage in feeling better about themselves. Because they're not black, no, they're brown. And y'all, if I had a nickel for every time this happened, I could afford a high rise in Manhattan. Like this one time in middle school when we were flipping through the yearbook and we were laughing because I was the darkest in all the pictures we took. Or how if I closed my eyes in the dark and smiled, all you could see is my teeth. And that one was really, like, it was really weak. It lacked a lot of originality. Either way, never have I ever wanted to not be black, but it seemed like people always had a problem with that. Like in high school, when I was at lunch with my friends and they were arguing about red bones and yellow bones and how my one friend was just light enough to be a red bone. And how because I was the very definition of black, she didn't match that. I was tired of it, man. So I said, okay, and let me tell you, those two words shut shit down. I mean, quiet with no sound because yes, I am black. I am not brown. I am not your chocolate Hershey's Kiss. I am black, blackity, black. And moments like that made me understand my place in this world. That people will find comfort with me because they feel like my complexion is less than. Like when I was a kid and my mom was arguing with her mom because I stayed outside playing all day long and I was just getting darker. But the way I see it is that my darkness is my beauty and other people's cruelty is to be expected. Kind of like how Malcolm X said, the black woman is the most disrespected. And if God made man in her image, then behold her beautiful black visage, my blinding obsidian that obstructs your vision. My glory is hidden in plain sight, threatening to be the light that makes you see better days, that demands you renounce your sinful ways. So get on your knees and pray. Pray that I am merciful and take pity on your ignorance. Let my forgiveness be your deliverance. Because when you pray to God, I know you beg to her because you wish you were as motherfucking dark as Tiana.
All right, y'all show some love. The Shock T from Slam Duval judges. What say you? All right. So I do have them all. That was Judge 1. Okay. So from low to high, we have a 9, a 9.3, a 9.3, a 9.5, and a 9.8, giving us a score of
28.1.
All right, 28.1. Show some love for the poet. And ending off the night. So sorry, you know, it has to come to an end, you know. It's more poetry, but no more after this one. And that is coming from the Detour Slam team. Who are y'all bringing up? Group piece. All right, let's test the mics.
Hello?
We hear you.
Why there's nothing Christian about all lives matter. Jesus was murdered in a lynching.
In all of our lessons, we seem to forget
That the Son of God was seen as a political threat, and to no surprise, so many evangelicals have failed to realize that the very conception of Christ and his actions have been whitewashed and sanitized. The multitudes look upon the death of Jesus with naive adoration, but we've got to call it what it was, a political assassination, and in steps a non-believer who does not subscribe to color, religion, or politics.
I just know that there is a clear distinction between right and wrong, and I can't be silent and ignore those who sit back and hide behind the lynching of a man by calling him a martyr.
But isn't that the story that is told? Didn't Jesus give his life for his people. So many people believe that there's a separation of church and state, but they're too blind to read between the propaganda that the state creates.
And this supports the wrongdoings being accepted as lawful, and anyone that opposes is eliminated, which is why even I can support the assertion that Jesus Christ was assassinated.
So let's make the connection. If Jesus performed his miracles today, the state would have given him the electric chair or lethal injection, and all lives matter wouldn't have tried to provide him with protection, which means then or now he wouldn't be allowed to survive.
And no matter how wrong that would be, all lives matter still would have tried to call it justified.
They would have called Jesus an alcoholic for turning water into wine.
They would have tried to align his actions with the life of crime. They would have looked at Peter and his disciples and called him a thug.
And disregarded everything Jesus said about looking out for your fellow man and showing your neighbors love. Because those same neighbors would have reported him as a cult leader like they did to John Africa in 1985. And even when the bombs dropped, they would have been silent. They would have went to church and sat in their nice pews. They wouldn't have protested or objected when the anchors would have disrespected his legacy when they watched the recap on Fox News.
If you're one of God's children, why make the conscious decision
to stay silent about white supremacy and scapegoat your religion as a reason to not condemn it?
Y'all's Klan robes are starting to show, so you might need to go and Bethlehem it. When we over-spiritualize the gospel, lead us the call to action. Because at the heart of Jesus' activism was empathy and compassion. You're either on the side of oppression or the side of justice, so it's time that you pick one.
And it's not enough to just shake the table when Jesus Christ flipped one. Thank you.
Let's go. Okay. Show some love for a Detour Slam team. Judges, what say you? I agree. This definitely has been everything. Okay. So from lowest to high, we have a 9.6, a 9.7, a 9.8, a 9.9, and a 9.9, giving us a score of
29.4.
29.4. Y'all show some love for Detour Slam team. All right, so we about to tally all of this stuff up, get it all computerified for y'all. Hold tight. I'll let you know what we're doing after that. Don't go nowhere. I know it's some paperwork and documents needed to be signed. Somebody was going to say something?
Yeah, I got the final scores.
Oh, okay. So we ready?
Get those emojis ready. Get the reactions for these finals.
Okay, let's start with the indies. From the lowest to the highest, we have Gwen C with a score of 26.8. And then we have Chashanua Westby with a score of 27.3. And now in fourth place for the teams, we have Team Heja Casa with 109.9. Third place, we have Slam Duval with 110.5. Second place, with a score of 111.3, we have Detour Slam team. And in first place, with a final score of 112.1, we have Black on Black Crime, y'all.
All right, now I'm back. Talk back. Y'all show some love. Y'all heard it. She already said it, so I ain't got to say it. You know who was in fourth, third, second, and first for this evening. Thank you to everyone who shared their work. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to the staff. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Zoom, for helping us with this platform. I just want to
And,
go over
and
them.
let us, before you go, say a
Okay.
special thank you to you, MC Kid Flow, for being an amazing, amazing, amazing host. Did a phenomenal job.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. If y'all need me, I'm always here. I guess I'm gonna go through the last plugs for the evening, and then I guess we're done. At least I'm done. And y'all make sure y'all have y'all paperwork turned in. So
Yeah, there's
that
some
all
questions
scores
in the
can be
chat.
calculated.
Slam Masters, individual poets, please stay logged in before you go to sign off on your scores. And then we can make sure you go, okay?
Remember, it's a Slam Master slam tonight at 11. We need judges. We also have digital swag bags and those $25 shirts. Every purchase helps Southern Fried. Also, this doesn't have to be the only thing you're a part of with Southern Fried. Come check us out at Echo Park. We will be there until the crows come knocking. And then while you're on the website, make sure you become a member so you can stay informed for next year's festival. I don't know if you know it or not, but this has been going on for 29 years and we ain't gonna stop. And then remember that final stage tickets are available for purchase now for only $15. So go ahead, get y'all one. I ain't bought mine yet, but we're gonna see. But I've been your host for the evening, Kia Flow. I'm gonna go ahead and hop on up out of this thing, at least turn off my camera. And if y'all need me, y'all let me know. I love y'all.